Look, I want to switch gears really quick. I want to know, ladies. I'm gonna play this little minute audio for y'all, and I want to start with my brother B Train, the investor, and then I want to start with and then I want to go to is this Zariah? I'm sorry. Am I saying it right?
It's like Aria with a Z. Zaria.
Zaria. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go B Train and then Zaria because we all in the same age range. And then we can go to you majestically, and then we can go to you, Miss Sabina, and then you, Red Frizz. Um, I want to know, man. Y'all, let me play this audio, and y'all let me know if he's speaking facts or if he's speaking fiction.
You get older, that don't mean shit. I don't care how popular you are, how good you look. Looks don't necessarily do it off of me. Like I need to see you as a whole entire package. Mm-hmm. Typically, when you get older, mileage has increased, kids have increased, your weight has increased. So you kind of fell out of your prime a bit. When you were in your prime, you were targeting toxicity. And we're not talking about you. We're talking about the average woman. So most women, when they get older, they'll start realizing, okay, this toxic dude that I've been chasing forever is not good for me. Like, I done experienced it. He's cheating all around, you know what I'm saying? He's making me feel like nothing and all this. You know what? I'm going to go try to pursue the man that's actually good for me. But by that time, you done had a kid with this toxic man. Or you done, been stressed out to where you done gained weight. So you're not in your prime no more. And that's typically how it goes. So now you are doing the good man a disservice because they're not getting you at your prime. They're getting you on the clearance rack. And that's what I feel like the problem is.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. These black men on these podcasts starting to get bold, yo. They're calling y'all
Did he
damaged
say
goods in the
clearance rack?
clearance rack,
Damn.
bro.
Nah, I'm on sale. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
B
wait a minute, wait a minute. But
Train.
I want to know, do I come with a
That's
coupon though? Because I'm not against savings. If I come with a coupon, I'm
hello.
okay.
They done shipped me to
Coupon?
DD's
Bro.
from Bloomingdale's, y'all. I'm at
You
DD's now.
know? Nah, I'm at the Dillard's clearance. That's a good clearance. Dillard's means you went from 300 to like 150.
Yo,
That's a
we at
good
the we
clearance.
at the bins. We
Right.
at the thrift store bins. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm at the thrift store bins right
As
now.
long as I come with a coupon, I'm good. I like a thrifty man. Save you some money, boo.
B Train,
Yeah,
B Train. What you think about that audio, bro?
So like what I'm gonna say is like I'm gonna speak from my experiences like in the dating world. Like when I graduated high school, I went straight to work. I was like I said, I was an electrician for like 6 years before I
Yep.
had my own company, right? So back then, I say like even a little bit before that, a lot of the girls was like around our age. They weren't really focused on nobody that that had a job. They weren't focused on nobody that had to get up and go to work every day, right? But after a couple of years, I say after like 2 to 3 years after graduation, a lot of them done already had kids, and then after they have kids, now they looking for a dude that's had a consistent job, some kind of stability. Now they want to like reach out to him and try to mingle with him, but coming from me looking at your situation like nah, like that statute of limitations and already ran out. You on your like second, third kid, we around the same age. I don't really want you no more now. I would prefer somebody who don't have kids as well around the same age before I even like look at you twice. Like that feeling that I used to have back when we was still younger. I say
Gone.
it's gone. It
That's
ain't
gone.
it ain't that's realistic. That's what a lot of dudes now is looking at like okay, now that y'all done got run up and done up by Pookie and Ray Ray, and
Yeah.
y'all trying to like y'all trying to find stability with
Yeah.
somebody that actually out here that's trying to make an honest living.
Yeah.
Y'all starting to see like, okay, dang, now these people they don't want me no more because it's hard for them to realize like, damn, maybe I was wrong for giving away my youth to these kind of dudes. So
They
that's just
want you
how
to be. They want you. They want you to be Captain Saberho. They want you to. They want you to take. They want they. That scammer and that want to be king that want to be kingpin that they was with that didn't work out that made them a single mother and left them out to dry. Now they want you to like take their little peanut head son to
Yeah, they want you to
basketball
step up to
practice
the
and
plate.
Why he gotta be a
buy him
peanut
his
head
first
though?
My son
Jordans.
ain't no
And
peanut head.
First of all, my son got a normal size
Hold on
head. We
now.
ain't gonna be talking about him like that.
My son got a precious head now.
hey,
My son
Brandon,
got
they
a
want you
normal
to
size
take their
head.
little peanut head. They want you to buy their little peanut head son some Jordans and take
DJ
Hey,
and
Noble
put him
called you
put him
peanut
put him on
head.
his first basketball
Hmm.
team. And
oh, hold
you
on now.
know,
Hold on now.
man, just cut it out, bro. Cut it out.
Why he gotta be peanut head though? My son got a normal size head. You ain't gotta call
Because
him peanut head.
Son ain't no
you
peanut
running
head, bro.
now, no. Okay. Listen, yeah, I'm here to see. I want to know what y'all think. Go ahead and mute Zaria.
So I really can't speak on like the kid thing because I don't have any children, and like I have friends that's 25, 26 with master's degrees, and nobody has children. So I really don't know what that's like. But I will say, like under certain circumstances, I wouldn't be against dating a man with like one child if he was older and like like if it made sense. You know what I mean? And if he checks boxes for me, that's not something I would be against. Now, like the whole baby mama drama and all that, like that's a whole nother thing. But I don't know. I feel like if it's a man that wants to date women with babies, then let him be the stepdad. I mean, I don't really, I don't know if that's their prerogative and they feel like they'd be a good manly figure in their life. Then okay. But like I don't think children kind of like define people. Of course, I would love for somebody's like first child to be my first child, but like I was a product of my dad marrying my mom when I was 4. So like she's technically my stepmom, but I was raised by her. Like she's my mom. My dad was
Yeah.
a single dad before she came in the picture. So like I'm not completely against it. I know a lot of people my age probably would not go for that. That's why I said under the right circumstances. But I mean, hey. I wouldn't take that role if it didn't make sense at all. Like if he wasn't somebody that, was special to me at least.
So what? You wait, Zaria. You would entertain being a stepmom at 24, 25 if the quote unquote situation was right?
My stepmom was 23. I mean, and my dad was 10 years older than her. So, like I said, like it definitely is a circumstance. I'm not against it because I saw how they work and they still together 20 years later. So, like, it's a difference. Now, am I looking for a man that has kids? And is he the first on the list? Not really, because a lot of times the men my age are not really, I haven't really seen them be super active in their kids' lives and they not whatever. But my dad was a single dad. So I mean, hey, like if I saw a man taking care of his kids and stuff like that, then I mean, I would definitely. It's not something I'd be against. My dad was in that same boat, and I know that's rare to say because I used to be like, oh man, like a man with kids, whatever. But like my dad, as I got older, I realized just how responsible my dad was, and that would be somebody that I mean, I would take into account if it came down to it. If, like I said, if he checks boxes and he was somebody I thought was responsible.
Hmm.
I want to add to that though. My the guy I'm dating right now, his daughter is like 7 years younger than me. I think it's kind of weird, but I mean, she's like, I told him she just better not ever try to call me mom because that's just weird as hell. She's like right there, so I understand that having like
Where did he
I'm gonna
go?
be a, I don't know. I think he ran away. I'm gonna be a stepmom that where we close in age. It's gonna be a little weird.
Sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I just I think that it's just so crazy. For me, I'm 37, like I told you guys. I'm not young. I'm not in my 20s anymore. For me now to hear men talk about women who wasted our excuse me, I don't mean to laugh, who wasted our prime years on them and then get upset because we're not 24 anymore because we just wasted 10 years of our life on these idiots who were the same age as we were. It's crazy to me. And then, like, now that I'm 37, I don't want a man who has little babies. I don't want a man who doesn't have babies. I want your babies to be grown as fuck. I need your kids to be grown ups. I don't want to have kids anymore. If you want to have kids, that's fine. But to me, a man who does not have children is a motherfucking headache. You're a headache because you want to have kids. I'm 37. My kids are big. I don't want to have kids with you, sir. I'm not the 43-year-old woman who hasn't ever had a child, who has, spent my whole life traveling and now I have the baby fever. Like, no, I had my kids young on purpose because I want to be able to live now while I raise them to be adults. They're almost adults. I don't have to deal with that. I need a man who has mileage because I don't want a man who doesn't. I don't want a little, you know, I don't want an Amazon table that's not assembled to come to my house. I need you to be pre-assembled with
Wow.
all of the screws and the nuts and the bolts. Okay. All I got to do is twist a couple legs. That's it. I don't want to deal with you and your baby mamas. I'm not dealing with your ex-wives. I don't want to deal with your kids. I don't give a fuck about your child support. As long as you're not paying more in alimony and child support than you make probably 1/3 of the year, I don't care. I don't want to be a stepmom. I want your kids to be grown. I want to go have fun. I want to go on a vacation. I want you to take me to the Bahamas. Like I'm not into that shit. So for women who are younger, y'all have your babies, okay? Have your kids and enjoy your life. Don't let a man tell you that you're wasting your prime years. No, that's when you're supposed to be having children physically. It gets harder as you get older. Trust me. You can barely walk up the
Wait a
steps
minute.
Wait,
at
wait.
30. No, I swear to
I
God.
think it's
It
my
gets
turn,
harder.
Red Frizz. I think it's
I'm
my
not having
turn.
no babies right now,
Uh,
being young and 23.
hold on,
I had my first child at 19. My last child, I was pregnant at 28. When I tell you I couldn't walk up the fucking steps, though, after baby number three, 4 pushes and the baby was out. I was done. Take my fallopian tubes. I'm over it. You guys think that this is the problem. You glorify pregnancy. You glorify having children. But then when you have them, you're stuck raising these kids for 18 years. You can't do shit. You can't even
I
go to the
mean,
grocery store. You
wait,
can't
I
hold
would
on,
even
like
hold on,
to
take
hold
a
on.
argue
shit.
that
If you
I would
want to
like to
do that
argue that
when
one,
you're
you're not
30
just a
and
parent
40,
for 18 years. You're not just a parent for 18 years. You're a parent forever. So like regardless if
Facts.
like
very good.
certain situations
Exactly.
happen, you're gonna be a
So
parent forever. But
but the point
also
is that
I would
no.
like to
But listen,
mention
from a parent, from a parent, I'm gonna tell you this much, okay? You cannot leave your home. You can't do shit. You can't do anything. You can't go anywhere unless you take your kids
that's
with you. You have to understand that you are in a whole different realm when you become a parent. So
But
you
that's
better
right.
some
So
choose
why
wisely.
that's
You
the
choose
either have
decision
them
you
younger
why
make when you
choose
or
in
decide
you
your
to
have them
have
older.
20s
kids though.
to
And
have a
understand
baby?
that
Why
that
if
freedom
you
that
have to
you
take a
had
baby
until you were
everywhere?
40, that freedom that you had to pick up and go to the grocery store. I have friends who had kids later in their life. So when I tell you their depression is on 20,000, they have to take medication on a daily because they don't understand how they trap themselves at 45 and they can't leave their house because their
But the same
toddlers in
people
their
Okay, hold on,
having
hold on, hold on, hold
babies
on.
older could also
Sorry.
argue for the same people having babies younger. Like, why would I spend my 20s when my body is the best and I'm in my prime, like
Right,
with
and that's
babies?
exactly when it's the healthiest time for you to have a child as opposed to at 40 when your child has a statistic of coming out autistic at a
Okay,
at
hold on,
a,
hold
a
on, hold on, hold on, hold
40%
on, hold on. Okay,
rate.
whoa,
No, you
hold
have
on.
to understand that there's a big difference in
Let
your
me jump in
body.
here though. Hold on, because you said autism and okay, okay. Hold on, one
My
second.
daughter's autistic, by the way.
Okay, and so is
Okay,
my oldest brother
just so
and my
you know.
middle brother, and my
Right,
mom had my oldest brother in her early 20s, so that has nothing to do with
right.
that. So hold
It
on,
has a lot to
let's.
do with it. It
No, it
does.
don't, because if you just said older women have a higher rate of having autistic babies. My
They
mom was like
do.
24 when she had my brother, so she
Right.
wasn't
It's
old,
also
and she has an
genetic. It's
autistic kid.
also, listen, calm down. It's also genetic. Okay. It is
Okay,
also
but you're the only
genetic.
person in our
But
family that has
women who have
autism, so
children after a certain age have a doubled risk of having a high risk pregnancy, period.
yeah, high
High
risk, but
risk
that does not
pregnancy
mean that
starts
the.
when like you're in your late 30s. We're not talking about like
No,
39, 40, 41
that's
having
not
babies.
true.
But I
But
think
pushing out a
fertility
baby at
fertility rates
22
are
is
down
also
amongst all ages of women right
right. And
now.
it's
I think
also
Fertility
not
fertility.
rate,
financially
but the
responsible
but
to
the
be like
mother but
straight
the mother
19, 20
child
and that have nothing to
mortality
take care of a
rate,
kid with.
but the black women mother child mortality rate is
It's higher
extremely
than
high.
everybody. Exactly.
We
So
are
You can
any
also
comparing it
blame
age.
the
to third
healthcare
world
system.
countries. No, no, no. Our child mother fertility death rate is compared to third world countries. Do you understand that Black women die 4 or 5 times more than a white woman who is having a child at the same age? You guys have to understand, shit isn't like it looks. I'm in healthcare. I know what I'm talking about. If you want to have a baby when your body is able to. That's all I'm saying. A lot of women have a really hard time, and it's not fun to keep losing children. That's why we have these times and periods that we're supposed to have children. That's all I'm
I think
saying. I just didn't
I
want to
think
be
it was
one of
just
them.
coming off. I think the way you were mentioning, I'm not saying that you're wrong with the statistics, but I think the way you were coming off, like, women have your babies. It kind of has that connotation where it's
Have
like
a
that
baby
whole be a
now.
baby mama, or like, don't require commitment. Just so maybe the way you were saying it, I just didn't like grasp it the way
No,
you
I'm not.
meant
I'm
it,
not
but it
saying it
just
like I'm not saying it in a relationship aspect. I'm saying it as a health issue for us. That's what I'm saying. It's yeah, it's okay for men to say, "Oh, well, you wasted your youth. You wasted your prime having children." But in reality, that is our time to have children in a healthy manner as Black women. That's all I'm saying. And there's nothing
yes,
wrong
but
with a woman to have a child, at a young age. It doesn't make or break you, as a human being. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
So I okay. So I understand what you're saying. However, the times have changed, and women's mental and emotional status isn't prime for them to be having children at a young age anymore like that. I know their bodies are primed for that, but their minds
But it
aren't.
wasn't the
And the
same. It was
young,
the same way
hold on,
then.
hold on, hold on. No, no,
Ain't
it's not
nothing
because
changed
women.
mentally,
No,
honey. We
women
all
in the
in the same
'60s were
spot.
a lot more mature at 20
Who was in
than
the
women
60s?
now. A lot more mature. A
Who?
lot more
Wait a
mature.
minute. Do you understand that the
Lot more.
teen pregnancy rate just dropped like the last 15 to 20 years?
And that's why I'm
What are you
telling
talking
you
about?
that
Like, women have been having
I'm
babies
telling
at teenage ages for years. This shit hasn't dropped that much to the point where we're talking about the 1960s now.
what
There's
I'm
still
saying is this
16-year-olds
though. I'm
having babies
talking
right
okay,
now.
but you're ma'am. Okay, so you're gonna have to listen before you don't respond. Listen, just listen.
So,
The
okay.
Not
mindset
somebody
Listen.
called it
of
geriatric pregnancies. Come on now.
Right. I'm like,
Come
what are
on
you
now.
talking about? Like, what
Alfonso,
are
you
you doing?
wildin'.
okay, the
Right.
mindset of women back then was a lot more mature than
I'm
the
not talking
mindset
about
of
back then,
women
though.
now. So no, we are, because if you're
But
saying,
we're
if you're
not.
being an ad, if you're we are, because you're the one being an advocate for
Of
the fact that women
1960?
should
No,
have
I'm
their
not being an
baby.
advocate of 1960. I'm
See,
being an
the
advocate of
problem
right
we're
now,
having is
okay?
your mouth
You're
keeps
not
moving,
listening.
so I can't get my point out, and then you're gonna tell me
Because,
I'm wrong before the point has even left my mouth.
okay,
So
so
I
what
need you
about
to hush.
1960?
Okay,
Like, what are
thank
we?
you. Hush? Just hush. My point is this: you just made the statement that women's bodies, when they are younger, are more primed to have children, right or
Yes.
wrong? Isn't that what you? Okay,
Not in
the my
1960, but yes.
would
Right
you?
now, yes.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Mhm.
My
I'm
point
listening.
is that the mindset of a 20-year-old nowadays, and we're talking 2022, is not the
Right.
same mindset of a woman in the 60s and the 70s
Who
and the
the fuck
80s,
is
hell,
talking
even in
about
the
a woman in the 60s, though?
Mm-mm,
That's my
mm-mm, mm-mm,
confusion.
mm-mm.
Where are we going with the
no
wait
bull,
a
1960s?
no
minute.
bull, no bull.
Nobody's
My
talking
mouth
about
is
women from the
nasty, bruh.
1960s.
My
We're
mouth can
talking
get
about right
real
now.
nasty.
Hi,
My mouth is
2022.
getting
We're not
going to
talking
get
about
real nasty
1960 though.
in about
No,
Majestically,
2.3 seconds.
majestically.
listen.
Don't
But
Let's
you're
make me go
confused
there,
calm
homegirl.
down,
Don't make
guys.
me go there,
Yeah.
because
because my
my
mom
mouth
was
is
born in
sick, girl.
1960.
My
Like, what
mouth
the
is
fuck is you
sick.
talking about?
Y'all. We here for the community. We gotta keep it civil. We here for the community and
Yes, thank
solutions. So we
you.
gotta
No,
keep it
I'm
civil.
just
no, bro.
asking to
You
make it
know
make
I don't
sense.
bring the rah rah, but you better
Yeah.
get home, girl, because my mouth is sick when I get
Yeah,
mad. She need to
majestically.
calm
Ain't
down.
nobody
Let's
getting
talk
no
one at a
bum
time.
your ass about your
She need
mouth.
to calm down. She like hella disrespectful
No,
right
make
now,
it
and
make
I ain't saying
sense.
shit to her. Well, you
Because it
can't
doesn't
make
make
shit
sense.
make sense if your mouth keeps flapping. Close the
Baby, you're the one
BSLs
whose
for
mouth
a
is
second,
flapping. I'm just
sweetheart.
trying to
You
have you
ain't shut
explain
up
it to me.
yet.
Why are we talking about 1960? to make it make sense, make it relevant.
How are we gonna make it make sense? You
Wait,
can't shut the
can
fuck up
I
long enough for me to make
You
wait?
my
talk too
goddamn point.
slow.
Shut the
Can I
fuck up.
ask
God damn.
majestically? Are you from up north, like New York, New Jersey, somewhere up there?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just say this. I don't think she was really trying to turn up. I think that that's just like her way of talking. She like I can tell that she wasn't like trying to like go off on her. I think she just has an
No, I
aggressive way of getting her
wasn't.
point across. I don't think she was trying to be disrespectful. That's why I feel like it kind of got out of hand. So
My
But
bad.
but
I
but
wasn't
but
trying.
but
I
but
wasn't.
we
It
gotta let
don't
people
matter
finish
though.
talking though too. We gotta let people finish
Yeah, and like
talking
that's
though.
been the issue. She ain't been quiet yet. So what I'm saying is this though, when you're an advocate for young women, and I'm saying young in their early mid 20s to have children, you got to understand that times have changed. The women's mindset and now in 2022 isn't like it was back then, back in the day. So therefore, when you're advocating for women to have babies in their prime isn't the 20s anymore mentally. Their body is primed, yes, but their minds aren't. So you're
hmm
basically you're creating a cycle of babies having babies, and that is why we're having issues with the children now with discipline, behavior, mental, learning disabilities, and all those because it's children having children because mentally these mothers aren't on a playing field to be having a baby that young. So when you say things to people like 23-year-old Azaria, hey, you should go out there and have. And I'm not saying she's mentally young. What I'm saying is that most people her age are mentally young. Most people at her age is trying to travel the world and booty pop and do all the other shit that they trying to do. They ain't trying to be out here having no babies. So if you start advocating for them to go out there and start having babies young, you're going to create a generation of kids that are going to be lost and have a lot of issues because their parents were not mentally prepared at all. They were very much behind the curve. Have you had a conversation with a 20-year-old yet lately? I would cry if I saw a 20-year-old pregnant right now. I'm gonna just be honest. I hate seeing 15-year-olds pregnant, but 20-year-olds, they not that far different in age. Their minds mentally on the same playing field. And so I would not think that it would be a good idea to advocate that just because their bodies are ready, that means that that's a good idea. No, it's not. I feel like it is good that these girls are trying to wait and make sure that they're more mature because more mature parenting reads better results in a childhood who's being reared versus
agreed.
immature parenting
hmm
leads to immature, out of control children that can't be dealt with because the parents have no patience. They have no understandings of how to communicate to a child. They're basically passing down what they heard or what they saw from somewhere else. And then now you have a bunch of traumas created because you got a bunch of young people who don't know how to be parents trying to be parents. So that was the only
Ooh.
point that I'm trying to make. You're pushing that you might have been a more mature 17-year-old. 17-year-olds nowadays, I hope they stop having babies because damn, and so that's what I'm saying. The mindsets are not the same. I understand bodies are the same, but mindsets aren't the same. And so it's
Can
it's
I
creating
also
a issue telling young people to have babies early.
and to like to kind of merge both of y'all's like sides together? I think also with like having kids younger when you were like in your prime back in the day too, you had a village to raise a family. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like nowadays neighborhoods aren't really the same where like you can all the grandmas and uncles and everybody on the block play a part in your life, and the
No,
economy is
no.
completely different too. Like I know, for example, I moved to Atlanta. Like I went to college in Hampton, I moved to Atlanta. Like I'm not around my family as much now, so if I wanted that community for my kids in order to have a kid at this age, I would have to kind of like move closer to home and be around them too. So I
Mm-hmm.
do agree. Like if you want to have a kid and you don't have that mental state, like some people do have babies at 18, 19, 20, and they have people to take care of their kids while they go to work, and they have grandma and even great grandma a lot of the times, but some people don't have that village. So like if you don't have that village and you just gonna end up being single mom, trying to make it work, you should probably wait until you have like a little bit more to stand on.
I mean, that makes sense for some people. But my thing is that I don't care how prepared you are, how much you think you're prepared, how mentally, financially, spiritually you prepare yourself until you have a kid, until you have children. There's no handbook. I don't give a fuck how many books you read. I read all the books. Nothing helped me. You have to go through things in life sometimes to learn things. You can't just, sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to prepare myself as much as I can." That's fine. But when I tell you that child comes and you don't sleep for 5 days, honey, there's nothing in the world that can prepare you for the shit that you deal with. There's nobody that's going to tell you that it's terrible, that it hurts, that you're going to go through all these things as a woman.
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
care what kind of village
like
you think we had or have. You have to be and understand that that's a part of life. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's all the same. You don't know what it's like to parent until you parent. Nobody teaches you how to be a parent. I promise you.
But what about
I
like
don't
the
care how you're
financial
50.
aspect though? Like the
that
financial or like even the mental
That
aspect, you know?
you gotta
That's
be.
okay.
Can I speak on that? Can I speak on that? Because I
Or
got
even the
pregnant
emotional
in my
aspect.
20s. So I
Being,
got pregnant at 21. So it was right at the height of when I was supposed to be finishing school and I didn't. I had to, basically kick into mom mode, and I had to hurry up and go get a trade so I could make enough money, get a job where we could basically survive. So most of my 20s was really spent with my head down trying to get to a financial level where I can just like provide a home. And now that I'm 30, I can breathe. And I'm just now able to kind of chase the career I want and things like that. But I don't think having babies young is it, because I don't know, Zariah, would you want to have a baby and you seem like you have a career track? I think that would like really put a damper on
Like
where you
I
would
mean,
want to
I
go
I
trying to raise a baby.
yeah, I feel like at this point in my life, if I had somebody to share that with and it was an option on the table, I could. I mean, I work in corporate, I work for Cartoon Network, I have my own apartment, I pay my own
Yeah.
bills, I have a car. Like it could work in the aspect, but I do feel like if I were to have a baby right now, even if I did have like the perfect guy or whatever, it would be where like I wouldn't be able to enjoy all the luxuries of life that I have now. Like
Yeah.
I could get up and go to Jamaica in 2 months just because I want to for a week. I can take off my PTO or whatever, but like that's a sacrifice everybody has to make as a parent. And I just feel like,
Right.
I would have to be mentally prepared to do that. But like
Right.
right now at 23 years old, just from where I'm, standing, I definitely think that like I would rather spend that money on Jamaica than to
Right.
have a
Right.
baby in my lap.
Or
right.
versus
But
like,
I
or even versus
understand the
like,
genetic stuff.
I'm
right.
not
Or
that
even
saying that
versus
that
like
people
comes
on
should
my
have
son's like,
babies in their teens and their 20s. All
you
I'm
can't.
saying is that there's so many health issues for us
yeah.
that it just becomes really hard as we get older, as women get older, especially Black women, us. It gets harder for us. So, fibroids is a big deal. Diabetes is a big deal. High blood pressure, hypertension is a big deal. There's all these things that play into the factor. I wasn't saying that everybody in their 20s and their teens should go out and have a baby. That shit sucked. It was hard. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I have an associate's degree in medicine. I've been doing what I have to do, whether I had 3 kids or not. Do you get what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
it's just you have to be a different kind of person. You know what I mean? And not everybody is, and I get that. But I'm just saying that health wise, it's becoming so hard for people and it's expensive. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying that shit isn't that easy. It's not easy like it used to be, whether you're a parent or not. And it's harder for women to conceive now than it was, you know, 40 years ago. It is. It's a whole different world.
What was you saying, B Train, bro?
Again, like I say, that's something that comes with being prepared. You got to have these conversations with the people that you with, because I don't think having children is something that's kind of age specific. Because you can be 20, 21, 22 and be ready to have a kid, or you could be 30, 31, 32 and be ready to have a kid. It's something that you got to work out with your partner. Y'all got to have these conversations. Like if she get pregnant or something, y'all got to sit down and talk. Are we financially ready to bring a child in this world? Are we, stable enough to where we're gonna get this child a healthy life, you know, some stuff, give them a life where they're not gonna have to worry about, sitting in the dark, not having nothing to eat. That's something that comes with, being ready to have a kid. I feel like it's too much, it's too many people having kids and they not ready. That's something you got to be ready to have a kid. You got to be ready. It's
Mm-mm.
not something that's kind of, it's not something that's age specific.
Right.
You know, you could be your body could be prime enough to have a kid, but you probably not with somebody that's mature enough or stable enough to have a kid, or you yourself might not be mature enough or stable enough to have a kid. It's not just something that you can just be like, okay, I'm young, so I'm finna start having all these kids. I don't care if I can take care of them. I don't care if I can give them the best life. You know, that's something that y'all have to both be stable enough, mature enough. That's something
Right.
that's a conversation that y'all have to have.
And like
Oh,
majestically said, like you can only be so prepared. Like you could read every book and then all of a sudden have a child with autism and you don't know anything about it. And you have to learn something,
Nothing.
brand new. Like I completely agree with that. But I will say, to each his own. Some people do have kids and at 20 years old end up being great parents. So you just never know. Because some
Yeah,
people can have babies at like 30 and still be terrible.
Precisely.
You can try to prepare, but there are so many levels with having kids. Uh,
So the
mm,
question was, should you have a baby young or should men date
no, no,
women
no,
with kids?
so
no.
the
no,
What the
topic
man
was
was
that
saying,
Not
I
video,
don't
but
know
we
what
way
happened.
off topic
no,
now.
I don't know what the hell happened.
the man was saying that a lot of women be given like their youth and their best years to basically the wrong men, and then like kind of like how B Train was saying, they get to a point where like for whatever reason they don't want to deal with those type of men anymore, and them same men that they used to look at as like lame, boring squares that they used to look past, now they want to be with those type of men, but like those type of men don't even like want to be with you no more. They like been that them feelings that they may have had for you at one point in time, them feelings been gone.
Yeah,
So
long
so
gone.
the question is, do you think so, Mr. Bina? Do you think women like good amount of women be giving up their youth, to the wrong men?
Yeah, I give up my use to the wrong man for my marriage, but I look at it this way, like it's it's how quickly we recoil from our bad decisions. Um, I feel like the continuance of making these decisions is the issue for women more so than the initial bad decision. If you have
Mm-hmm.
one kid, young with a man and y'all don't get married, that's okay. But
Right.
I was told like your stock changes. Like so like someone told me one time that I'm divorced, I got two kids, that because my kids had the same daddy that it put me in a certain category. But if I were to go out and get another baby daddy, he was like, it's gonna tank your stock. Men gonna be looking at you like, oh, you getting to that point where we not gonna really mess with you no more. Now, I don't know if I would say it like that to women. I would say it this way: if you do have one kid already out of wedlock with a man and you didn't, I would be very mindful about your next relationship. Like I would start making the precautions to make sure that this doesn't happen again, because you don't want to be considered someone that's ran through by a bunch of dudes and now you got all this baggage, because any man that's going to take you on, he has to take on all of you. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, like the more you, this is the thing, all your degrees and all your money doesn't matter if you come with a bunch of baggage. It's the same thing for a
What
man
about
with
these
a
men
woman.
and their
A woman,
baggage?
hold
But the
on,
kids
hold on,
can't be considered baggage
hold
now.
on,
These are
hold on,
No,
lives.
not the
hold on,
kids.
hold on. What I'm saying is this though. A woman's not going to want a man, even if he makes $100,000 a year with a bunch of baggage. She's not. It's the same thing with a woman. Like our baggage comes as a physical representation of our mistakes, because we're the ones that control if a baby's born or not. We're not the ones who control if the baby's conceived. We're control if the baby comes to fruition or not. So with that being said, I know you don't
I
want to
am.
consider the kids baggage, but at the end of the day, to a man, yes, because let me tell you what comes with a child. If you have a child, right, and you get with a man, and if the man is not a deadbeat, that's an issue for most men, because now that's another man who has input on his household. That's another man that
Mm-hmm.
he got to maneuver around his feelings. And most men don't sign up to have to maneuver around another nigga's feelings. I'm just going to be honest.
Right.
When he gets with you,
Right.
he feels like he should just be able to be with you.
Right.
There's certain aspects that come with it. Like, and that's the part that women don't think about. It's not just about you have a baby with a man and now you want another man. It's about the small, intricate details that you overlook. Like, case in point, you have this kid with this other man that's not around, and now this man comes in. What about discipline? How is he? What level of discipline is he got? Is the child gonna always have to wait for you to come home to discipline it, or is he gonna be able to discipline it? Most women are gonna say no. He can't touch my child. That's not his child. But you're building a household with him. He can feed the child. He can clothe the child. He can take the kid to basketball practice. He can do. But the moment the child gets out of line, don't you yell at my baby. Those are all the things that men think about that women don't, and which is why they have these conversations. Most women who are out there spreading it wide and making these babies don't think about those small details. You only look at, well, he's my kid and I take care of him, and you don't really got to do nothing, because women say that shit and they don't mean that shit
Right.
either.
Oh, that's crazy.
But they act like that and they move that way. And then when they get into these relationships, when they get out there in that dating world and they see that the grass isn't as green as they thought it was, then they want to be mad at the man like a real man, but stand up and take care of it. That's not a definition of a real man. That's a woman that's lucky. That's not a real man. A real man doesn't mean he has to sign up for a responsibility that was never his in the first place.
Right.
That's just a man stepping up to the plate. That's what it is. It doesn't make him any more real than the next man. Because a real man was a real man that was honest with you and said, guess what, sweetheart? All that drama that comes with you and that baby daddy and that kid, I'm not about that life. That's a real man. Because he could have came in and dogged you out and drank your baby Capri Suns and laid up on your couch all day.
Yeah.
He didn't. You know what he
Little
said?
peanut
I ain't
head
about that
Keenan.
life. I'm about to go. So
Y'all gonna
Keenan,
quit trying peanut head now.
little Keenan peanut head ass.
yeah, he
Look,
could have came and
let me
Y'all
drank
gonna
a.
say
quit talking about peanut head now.
I'm just
let me
saying,
say something
those
Can
real
are
I
the.
quick,
play? Can
Mr.
I
Peanut.
play devil's advocate a little bit about
Well,
that?
hold on one
Even though I
second.
don't
But
have kids.
well, hold on one second. What I'm saying is this though. Those are the details that women don't think about. And that's what men be saying when they say you get ran through in your young years, because those are the little details that matter to a man that women don't even think about. Those are the things. Because when a man gets with you, yes, he knows you and your kid come as a package deal. But those the little details that y'all don't think about are the ones that makes the man like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Her kid bad, and then whenever I tell her kid to sit down, don't you yell at my son. See, I ain't dealing with that.
Right.
Nope.
I
Mm-mm.
mean, personally, that's
Mm-mm.
the first thing I think about. That's the first thing I tell any man who shows any interest in me. That's the first thing. I have a kid, and I'm gonna
You're the
watch your response
minority.
because I already know. I already know. I'm not gonna force you to do anything. Just by me telling you that, I can already tell you ain't gonna make the cut no way. Don't be nervous. It's fine.
Hmm. But you're the minority though in that thinking, because most women feel like a man shouldn't say nothing to their kids. These are my kids. I'm gonna do that, and I've seen that honestly. And I will say this: this is one experience that crosses the color line for me. I've seen that in other races too. Women that have kids with other men and feel like this my child, you can't hit him, and da, 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 da. And I just feel like that's the problem. That's not. It's not about a woman having kids that's a problem for a man. It's the dynamic of that household that's the problem for the man. And that's what people don't understand. Because when he comes a part of your household, there's a certain dynamic he's going to have to conform and submit to be with you. And men don't know if most men don't want to. And because they know they're not going to want to. They're not going to want to have to tell your son to sit his bad ass down. And now he got to deal with you and your absent baby daddy who wants to show up when he wants to fight. They don't want to deal with that. And women be like, oh, that's not going to be me and this, that, and the other. You really don't know what a person's going to do until they do it. When I first started dating after my divorce, my ex was never around. And then when the moment my kids went to his mama house for Christmas and they was like, yeah, we went to mommy new boyfriend house. This nigga was calling my phone every other day. Hey, what you doing? Hey, how you doing? Now all of a sudden he want to be a daddy of the year. And why you got that? And why you got that nigga helping my son with his homework and all out of the blue? And I said the same thing. He ain't gonna do that because he don't even come around. Then he started coming around, but I had to put him in check. Listen, you play absentee daddy, so you're not about to come around here and tell me who can do what and who can't. And if you got a problem with it, I'll relinquish my rights and you can have them. That's my threat to him because I know he'll never do it, and then he leave me alone after that. But I'm saying all that to say, but most women go into this situation like that, thinking like, oh, that's not gonna happen. No, I got this. And then the men, and that's more stress. You do gotta understand when a man don't have kids and he goes into a household with kids, that's a new stressor that he has no idea how to deal with. Just like you said, most people can't prepare for kids. A man who, and then now not only is a man preparing for a kid, he's preparing for a kid that's almost is pre-raised when he gets there. You got a 5-year-old little boy jumping off the couch doing Power Ranger moves. He ain't prepared for this. He don't know what to do. He's sitting there looking
Keaton,
at you
sit
like,
your little
ah.
Peter head ass down.
Yeah, exactly. So now that's one stressor. But then you add the stressor of how to navigate y'all relationship. How does he address this child? What does he say? How does he, how does he encompass? Does he, and then men do also think, dang, what if and I've had a man tell me that, what if I get with you and we fall in love and I fall in love with your child, and then we don't work out, and now
Right.
I have to
Attachment.
sever that relationship with that child. It's not going to
Right.
just hurt the child; it hurts that man too. These are
Right.
all the things women don't think about, and that's why men are telling them
Exactly.
stop getting ran through and having all these babies, because now we have to make hard decisions that we should not have to make, and those are based off of your decisions, not his. Because
I
it's
will
easy
say I
for women.
definitely think about that when people tell me that I need to get back out there and date, and you got to find your son and stepdaddy, and you need to find a male influence in this life. Like, that's so easy to do. First of all, it's not easy to get out there to date, and second of all, it's not. I don't want to keep getting my son attached to these people, and it don't work. That's, to me, that's not fair either. So I
Red
definitely relate to that. That's not easy to do.
Red Frizz, you see, and that's another problem right there. And let me tell you another. You see how you just said people have been telling you need to get out there and date, and you need to find your son a stepfather. There's men.
That is right.
There's men that like. There, listen. It's said that there's a bro. It's a saying amongst a good amount of men that like single mothers don't even really be like dating to like really be in relationships. They be like dating for help, like dating, like they not dating. They not trying to get with B Train or Noble like to be in a real relation. No, I have this quote unquote baggage. I need help. I got Keenan. I got a little Keenan and little Kaylee. I need help with Keenan and little Kaylee, and that's what I'm really dating for. I'm not really dating to be in a relationship. I want you to come and take care of little peanut head Keenan and Kaylee for me.
100.
Noble, are these baby names coming off of your pre list
I'm saying
already
I
that
don't
you
think
got?
nobody got no baby named Peanut Head. Come
These
on now.
names coming out real smooth. You got a list of baby names we don't know about? Look,
I
Keenan,
don't know.
there's
I
gonna be a
don't know. It
Keenan
must
one
been
day,
them.
Hey, I'm
Noble.
childless.
It
I'm
must been the women
childless.
on that other line. They must have baby named Peanut Head, because ain't none of us got no peanut heads on this line right here.
Yeah. Earlier
Why
he
his
said
name
little
Keenan?
Darius. Look, earlier y'all missed it. He talking about little Darius. You got little Darius
Yeah, but
coming?
no,
Like,
I'm
God,
being
dog.
serious though. Like, bro, like there's men that like that's another thing that like men are warned of. Like, know that she's not dating for a relationship. She, especially the ones that be having 3, 4 kids, 3, 4 bed. No, she dating for help. She wants to when they talk about security, these women are the ones that really want security. Because they don't want it, like how you said it's ghetto to be doing it by yourself. They don't want
Yep.
to be doing it by themselves. So is
Nope.
the relationship not even really genuine to start off with, because you're looking for help. You're not looking for a partner. You're looking for somebody to like help you take care of your kids.
Yeah, because
Bad look.
I remember I was talking to this one guy. He was a
Feel
really, I mean,
mafia.
he was a really good guy, a really good guy. But I just I'm like, I have to let you go, because he was getting frustrated when I couldn't like go out on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I already know you're not ready for this. I already know. So let's just call it,
Did
See,
he
and I
give
because
had
you?
an
you're not gonna make
opposite
it.
experience. I had
But
an
B Train.
opposite experience. I got engaged literally, like I want to say 7 months after we got me and my ex got divorced. I met well, he was a friend of mine. I'd already known him from like high school, and we started dating, and he proposed to me and everything. But this is the thing though. My ex was a deadbeat at the time,
Hmm.
and this is what he said to me. He said, "I want to marry you. However, my marriage comes with conditions." And I said, "What's your conditions?" "I want you to petition the court to get the parental rights stripped from your baby, from your ex, and I want to adopt your children." And I did not
What?
want to do that. Yeah,
Did
that's
he
what he
even
wanted.
know
He
your
wanted.
kids though?
Yeah, he
Oh
knew
Oh,
no.
okay.
him. And he wanted to adopt my children, and I
Mm-mm.
did not want to do that. I did not
That's
want to
so
strip them
weird.
of their connection with their father. And there was a time period like after me and him broke up that really like I regretted it, because I was like, dang, what if I missed my only chance of ever being with somebody? Because
Yeah.
he wanted the package. He wanted to be dad for real though. He didn't want to be stepdad. He was like, listen, the dude don't come around, he don't help out. I ain't seen him in the whole time we've been talking, and all this, because we were separated for like 5 years before we even actually got divorced. So he was like, all the times I helped you, because he used to help me with my kids while I was still married and stuff. His mom used to watch the kids for me and everything.
Mm-mm.
And he was like, you know what? Your kids love me. This, that. I wanna adopt them. And I said, no, I couldn't do it because I didn't want to make that hard decision for my kids. But I understand what he was trying to do. He wanted to step in and take on the reins, and he didn't care. And I even asked him. I said, "Well, what if we break up? You have to pay child support." He goes, "I don't care. Those would be my kids, and it doesn't matter." He really wanted to be like, yeah, he was a good dude, but I could not make a decision like that. That
Mhm.
was just something I
B
was
Train,
like,
you hear this, bro?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know. Like, why would the first thing that like come to your mind, like if y'all broke up though? Like that, I don't know. That's,
because because it was like I just all these thoughts started going through my head. Like, first of all, women,
Damage
any woman,
control.
no men don't come in and just be talking
Right.
about I want to adopt your kid. It just sounded weird, and I was just
Right.
like,
Yes.
well, wait,
Yes.
genuine
like
though. Yeah, he want to
it
step
was.
late, you know. So,
Yeah, but it wasn't something I was expecting because I had those little friends when I got divorced that was like, ain't no man gonna want to be with you now because you gonna be a woman, you got kids and all this other stuff. So I didn't really expect nothing like that to happen. So when he was like, I want to adopt the kids and I want us to get a house together and this that, and the other, I was like, I'm preparing. Like, well, what if we don't work out? Like, just hypothetically, and then like now we're divorced. Like, what? How does that work? Like, because you're saying you want my kid. This was my fear. You're saying you want my kids now. You want to adopt them, but even adopting them, you're not their father. How do
Mhm.
I know you won't change your mind? How do I know you won't 6 months into the relationship be like, these that or like and this is the other thing. I never wanted him to use the words that y'all not my kids anyway. See, those were all the things that were going through my head. I didn't want that. So that's why I was asking him them questions. What if we break up? What does that mean? Do you want to still be there? Like I want to know, like,
It
because
mean he
this
done
that's
signed them
but
papers, so he's
him,
responsible forever.
him wanting to buy a house, you know, legally adopt them. That's like things that's showing you like he's not gonna do that though. Like,
it was
I don't know, as
scary.
a dude, like
It was
a
scary.
legally binding contract, not with just you and your kids, but the government. That's like that's an extremely strong commitment. On top of in a house with that, you
Well,
know that.
why would you want to strip the children of the father that they know? Whether he's there or not, he's their father. And obviously, he was there at some point for them to know who he was. Why would you come in? I could see if he died. I could see if the
Yeah,
man died. You know what I mean? And then that makes sense. Okay, you want to adopt him because we're gonna get married and they need your name. You know what I mean? I could see that instance.
But
Or
he
if
don't
something
know he
happened to the
did that.
point where he's like incapacitated as a human being, but for you
It
to just
really
be like, I want to take complete control over everything, your life, your children, who they
Uh,
were conceived by, I would. That's a red flag,
it
yo.
was
Like,
I
what do we
think
do,
I think
sir?
it
100%
should really be up to the
overtaken.
kids because like I said, I've had my stepmom since I was 4 and I don't even call her mom just out of respect for my mother. You know what I mean? Like I respect her as a mom. She raised me. I lived with her. We were together forever, but like just out of respect for my biological mom, I call her by her first name. So like I really think
Mhm.
it's up to the kids cuz like she said like you don't want to strip your kids of like that relationship with their dad, but in the same breath like maybe her kids will get older one day and be like, "Nah, like that's my dad. This is who I
Yeah.
call my dad. My dad wasn't around." And then they might decide, like, whatever. But
We're
but
I
gonna
can
I
get
don't
see
it.
think
what
as
you
a mother, that was a decision for me to make because at
Right.
the end
It's
of the
not.
day, if the kids, because like again, what if he was like a person that feels like you got to beat the kids every 5 seconds every time they do something wrong, like, and he wasn't. He was really sweet, but I'm just saying, like, you just really, really never know. And
Right.
I was like always afraid, like, if this ends badly, I'm the one who's got to be responsible
I
because
was
I'm
about to
the one
say,
gonna
was this
make the
the second
decision.
date?
Right.
So it's just these are all of the different things that was going through my mind, and that's why I said, like, it's the when listen, when women make babies and then they try to date, they don't think about these things. They don't think about all these things. I'm
Mm.
telling you from experience, these are things that never cross our mind. What does dating look like? What does marriage look like? What does a functioning household look like? Because then again, here goes another thing women don't think about. If you have 2 kids and you get with a man and he has no kids, or yeah, he has no kids and y'all have kids together, and you telling him he can't discipline your kids. Now his kids are seeing the difference. So you like them kids better than me because you let them get away with everything. But if I jump on the couch, I get punched in my head. But they jump on the couch and you tell them to just sit down all nicely. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. But
That
the kids are
also
seeing that
happens
and
in
they're
like
feeling
regular
like,
households
No
though, because
way.
sometimes mom will let you get away with more stuff than dad does to you though. So y'all
So
No,
get
B
punished
so
Train.
again regardless.
I want no from another man's perspective, like what I say, just your own personal, especially at our young age, bro. Like I'm 25, you and Zaria 23, bro. Imagine at 23 years old taking on like a woman's whole two other kids, bro. Another man's whole two other kids, bro. You out here working hard, trying to get yourself together, trying to build your own financial foundation. Now you got Keenan peanut head ass and his sister,
here
and
we
you
go.
gotta
Here you
take
go.
on
Here
you
you go,
gotta you
y'all.
gotta
Here you
you
go.
gotta sign
I
Keenan up for
know.
football, basketball,
Be at
baseball. You
air
gotta take him out
practice,
to get
pick
ice
them up from
cream.
Listen,
school.
y'all. Noble got a baby on the way, and that baby name is Keenan.
Let me
He
let
just
me
told
ask
y'all.
y'all. Let me ask y'all young men. Let me ask y'all
He
young
just
men.
told you. He
B
just
Train and
told you.
Noble. Let me ask y'all young men. What would y'all mama say at the age of 20, taking on a woman with babies? What would y'all mama say?
Boy,
Let
get your
At
stupid
the end of
head
the
on
look,
out here with
okay,
that.
okay, hold on, okay. I'm gonna say this. Right? I'm gonna say this from two different perspectives,
all right.
based on the situation she just gave. So me, y'all already know like the situation. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But imagine me, a dude I'm stable. I got consistent income. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna step up to the plate and be a stepdad. I want full responsibility of these kids. And she
Yeah,
just told me no, I couldn't do that. So now it's making me like, okay, you know what? Next time I just completely stay away from them, stay away from women with kids altogether. So it's like a lose-lose for a dude in that situation.
man.
Exactly. But that's my point though. Like, and that's what when women hear men make the comments like the man in the video made, and then they get all in their feelings. I'm gonna find the man. What you mean I'm damaged goods? They don't understand that and I guess, and I will say this for the men. The way y'all word it is nasty because if you said that to me, I might punch you in the throat because that does sound very disrespectful. But I understand it now because I've had these talks with men and I understand the mindset. It's not about you having kids. It's never about that, ladies. The kids are never the problem. It's the dynamic of the household with the kids. The rules of the game have changed now. They can't deal with you the same. Ain't no having sex all over the house now because little Pookie watching playing the Xbox on the TV in the front room. So now we gotta wait till he go to bed. We gotta wait for him to go to bed. And
Ain't no
I'm playing.
lies there. I got to plan my escapades weeks in advance,
Look,
months in
or
advance,
look,
years in advance.
now,
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
hold
Somebody
on,
in the
Red.
comments just said she had two kids with a gay
Man,
guy and
that
he
joint
treated
got
them
me
like
crying.
shit.
Ooh,
Wait,
what?
wait,
What?
wait. What?
Y'all ain't see that, bro?
What
Fire.
is that?
Wait. My
That
brother
just threw
married
me
his
off.
wife.
Yeah, that kind of like took my whole train of thought over.
Wait, Zaria, what
Uh,
comment?
no,
Hold
It,
on,
don't
it
go,
bro.
was
don't
by
go find it. Don't go find it.
Adrian. It said, "Well, I had two kids with a gay guy, and he treated them like shit."
Wow.
What?
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
That's wild. That's a
No,
wild
but
story.
I'm not gonna say that that's not rare because I'm not gonna put his business out there. But I knew somebody very close that's dad was gay majority of his life, so that's very real. And then yeah,
Hey,
it
Bert.
happened.
Bert, you said you got Bert. Bert, we got 50. I got my man 50-year-old Bert in here. Bert, you said you got experience with this. Please tell us your experience, stepdad.
Why you blast my age, man? You know I'm only 25.
Yeah,
No, not the oldest in the
Put my
marriage.
age out there like that, man. How you remember that anyway? Yeah. So when I married my I'm divorced now. So I mean, I guess I
You born in the
I lived the
60s?
whole.
I'm
Say
just
again.
playing. I'm joking. Go ahead. I'm
No, that's okay.
joking.
That's okay. That's okay. So when I married my wife, she had a 13-year-old daughter, right? So, um, the dynamics, so the dynamics are were strange, right? So I mean, it was really awkward. I mean, looking back on it, I think I did okay, but like, I mean, she's a good kid, right? She was a good kid.
uh-huh.
Um, but the weird thing was there was a weird like I don't know, ladies, you can help me out. I don't know if this is normal or not, but like as I tried to build a relationship with the 13-year-old, my wife would get jealous. So it
Oh,
was it was it was strange. I mean, it was strange. I had to like really walk that line. I couldn't take anybody's side. If there was, I was just like the man in the corner. I wouldn't say, I could, because they would fight. People fight at that age. Mothers and daughters kind of. I just, I mean, I didn't really have a voice in that house with regard to the
I
two
think
to
that
the two
might
of them.
speak more to her character and not yours.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly not trying to besmirch my ex-wife's character, but that's just that was my experience anyway.
Bert, is your ex-wife the same woman that had your child that you have now?
Yes, you remember everything, don't you? Yeah.
I
So
do.
so
I do
when
this.
I married her, we had the 13-year-old, and then later on we had my daughter who's 8 years old. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
then there's that dynamic as well. So but
But Bert, do you still have like somewhat of a relationship with? Was she 21, 22 now?
yeah, she's about 22 years old right now. My stepdaughter is. I haven't seen her in I haven't seen her in a year. Yeah, I probably never see her again. I'll probably
But
never
but
see my
but
stepdaughter
did
again.
did y'all, did y'all ever like have any sort of communication after the fact?
No, I have not talked to her since the divorce.
And you see, this is another thing, Bert and B Train, ladies, y'all can tell me if I've heard men say that doing the whole stepdad thing, you get nothing out of it. So if I want to take on Majestically, and hypothetically, she got little 5-year-old peanut head Keenan and Ashley, his sister, and let's say Majestically dates me for 10 years. So I don't put Keenan, little peanut head ass, through basketball, football, baseball. I took him on AAU trips. I done took him on vacations, did this, that, and the third. And now when his mom don't want to be with me no more, like forget the emotional attachment. Think about all I invested into that kid. I get nothing out of it.
Well,
Not
women
not
are
to
the
not
same
to
way
I
too.
don't want any sympathy or anything, but I put that girl through college. Did everything that I needed to do for her. But yeah, it's just it is what it is.
Wait, what?
College. What? Bro, if I put somebody's kid through, man,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, they gonna have to. I'm
Well,
gonna have to legally be somebody's dad. Ain't no way in hell.
that's not it
I was
don't
about to
it
say.
that's why I'm in here. I hear what you're saying. It just doesn't work that way.
It
Them
doesn't.
tuition payments, I'll be damned.
No, I raised two kids that were not mine, and I was young, and I raised them, and they graduated, and I don't talk to them. I raised them. I mean, I made sure they were there. All of the step kids that were not mine, I made sure that they all grew up together. I wasn't that kind of mom. I didn't care if I liked the baby mom or not. It was none of that. I wanted everybody to be together. That doesn't mean that they respect you any more or any less, whether you do that or not. You still help
Right.
raise them, but at the end of the day, they discard you. I mean, it's just it is what it is. You did that thing out of the kindness of your heart. You helped raise that child, and at the end of the day, good things still come back to you, and that's all that matters. You don't really think of it like I took an L. You think of it like I helped raise somebody's child, and I hope that person will be better. I hope
Right.
hope they'll be an outstanding adult, and I hope that I had some kind of impact. But
So
I don't expect them to come back and be like, "Thank you." Like, it's okay. I know who you are.
No.
I changed your shitty ass. Like, I know you. Like, we good. you
no,
know?
but Majestically,
I don't look at it as a sorry. I don't look at it as. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I don't look at it as an L at all, right? But so just the reality of it is, and so this I just understand it from a practical sense, right? So my stepdaughter has to maintain a relationship with her mother, right? And they have a good relationship. And that relationship gets really weird if she also has a relationship with me. I understand that. She don't have to tell me that. I just understand the dynamic. So I just have to roll with it.
Right.
but Majestically, would you say it's probably just a thankless job, whether it's being a stepmother or a stepfather? Or
Yeah,
it
because
can be. I wouldn't say, because some
it is.
people, there are some instances where, like how Zaria said, like, she got like a good relationship with her stepmom. Like her stepmom like raised her, and she like really appreciates her and loves her. But I don't know if that's as common as it is just getting discarded.
I mean, it is and it's not. Like, I just make sure that Like the little ones that I have, the little one, like their siblings, I keep them all together. Does that make sense? So when I have my stepkids with me, even though I'm not married anymore, and he has nothing to do with anything that has to do with me and their siblings, right? So I keep a good rapport with them so that they can all grow up together. It's not about me raising that child, it's about my children knowing their siblings. It's about them growing together and understanding who their family is. And these are your brothers and these are your sisters. And you guys need to be together.
That's
Listen,
true. My stepmom
So
also had two children with my dad outside of me. So like I will say that like even if they were to divorce tomorrow, like no, I would still talk to her on a regular basis. Like that's still the mom of my brothers. Like we would still all be connected. And I highly like my dad wouldn't even like think of me to like not talk to her again. He you know what I mean? Like he would
Right.
want me to still keep that relationship with her whether he was with her or not. So it just I guess it does depend on the type of people because when I talk to some of my friends who have stepmoms, they like, oh my god, I have an evil stepmom like Cinderella, like, and I don't have that experience, so yeah.
Right.
listen.
I
If
mean,
I'm taking Keenan, if I don't put Keenan through all these sports and
oh
took
Lord,
him on
Oh
Keenan.
my
vacation,
god, Keenan.
was getting him fries and sweet and sour sauce in the McDonald's drive-through, I better get a call on my birthday. I better get Father's Day. I better get
Oh,
all of that. I'd be damned.
gotta
it's not about that. It's about you helping raising, your children. Like
Leave
it's
Keenan
not
alone.
about it's not about what you get out of it. Like I don't need a phone call to know that I helped raise somebody who became a good person. She calls,
So
hey, how are you? My stepdaughter, she's always here. She draws me pictures and cards and you know what I mean? Like it's not even about that. It's just about raising your children to be around each other, whether your mothers or fathers are the same. You guys they all need to know each other.
so
Keenan.
hold on. I want to add to this conversation. So Noble, I will say this. It is a difference um in a man versus being a stepdad and a woman being a stepmom,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Yes.
being a mom in general is like a thankless job. Like people don't tell us thank you when we up at 3 a.m. Squeezing snot out of little ugly ass kids nose. Like nobody's telling us thank you for that shit. So I'm just saying, like nobody's telling you that. Like I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, being a mom's a thankless job anyway. So when you're a stepmom, you're not looking at it as like, oh yeah, one day this girl's gonna be a rocket scientist. She gonna buy me a Lamborghini. Like we don't
Right.
think about shit like that. Like because we don't even think our own damn kids gonna do that shit for us. So we definitely know what
That's
that
very true.
is. So
And
it's
I
a
will say,
different
like,
set
we
of.
can be biased as well. Because when I see men, like, with their kids in the grocery store, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Like, look at him with his son. And that could literally be the first day he ever had his son in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
but when you see a
So
mom, it's like,
because
but when
like
you see a mom, it's like, oh, okay.
because one of the experiences that changed me was my mom married my stepdad when I was 7, and when I turned 14, I started asking questions about my real dad. And I didn't know that my right around that time, my stepdad had he had got with a lawyer to adopt me. And when he found out I was asking questions about my real dad, he was like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to adopt you now." And when I was young, and my mom told me that shit hurt my feelings. Like I was devastated. Like, damn, you just gonna kick me to the side like that? I've been your baby girl for 7 years. But when I
Right.
became an adult, I realized why. Men, everybody knows men deal with emotions and feelings differently than women. And you got
Mhm.
to think, you didn't raise this child and been her only. She called you daddy and everything for years, and then here come her little flat faced ass talking about, I want to find my real dad.
Right.
That probably hurt. That probably hurt.
Right. That's what I'm
Like
saying.
he probably wanted to throw punch me. I ain't gonna even lie. Like now, as an adult, I understand, but as a kid, I was like, "Oh, you just gonna kick me to the side?" But now you understand, like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of hurtful because you didn't put all your effort into taking care of me and making sure I'm good, and I'm asking about somebody that I ain't never even know like that, somebody that's never even around. That's gotta be hurt because men are different. They want that. They want you to be appreciative with all the shit they do because in their mind, I ain't have to do this shit for you. But mothers
Right.
are different. We gotta take care of your little dumb ass so you won't die. So it's different. Like it's
Be,
not
But
the
Mr.
same
Bina,
Bina,
playing
Bina.
field.
I'm gonna push back on you a little bit, Bina. And I love you. I love you even though you don't follow me back. I still love you. Um,
You follow me?
so I think
What?
It's a shame.
so even while I'm talking, you can hit that follow button if you want.
I already did.
Um, that's my girl. Thank you so much. So I think parents in general, like both parents, it's a thankless job, and I'm trying to impart this on the young brothers we have here, because the first thing I learned as a parent, especially of a girl, was that I realized I didn't matter nearly as much as she did. Right? That was the perspective that I had, and I think that's a healthy perspective to have as a parent. Like everything was about her. And there's another thing you learn from, like, I tell parents this all the time. I tell fathers this all the time. Like, what you want is a daughter, because a daughter teaches you so much more than a son will. A son doesn't teach you that much, but a daughter does. And I learned, this is kind of random. This isn't a part that I had an issue with what you said, Bina. I'll get to that in a second. But I learned from my daughter something that I never knew in all of my life, and I didn't have my daughter until I was 42 years old. This is when I had my first daughter. Like, that was my first child at 42. I learned something that I'd never known in all my life, and it was beautiful once I realized it and absorbed it. I never knew platonic love. I never knew platonic love with the female, right? But a daughter teaches you that. Like, it was pure, like, platonic. I totally got it, right? That was my first platonic relationship, really, was with my daughter, for the most part. I mean, I had other ones here or there, but that was the most meaningful one I had. And it was a beautiful thing because I looked at the world through her eyes, and I was able to protect her, or at least think about protecting her from whatever threats might befall her in her future. But it was totally platonic, and I loved it. The thing I was going to say about, like, I don't think it's mothers that are unappreciated. I think mothers are unappreciated, but I think fathers are too. So imagine a father in a, what you might call, quote unquote, air quotes, a traditional household. So I'm at work 10 or 12 hours a day, right? So like, I'm the father in a household like that is that invisible hand. Like, nobody sees him. He might make it home early on Thursday or whatever, but like, those little kids are all asleep. They see you on the weekends. This is why you're married. So you're like that invisible hand that's making everything happen, financing everything that's happened. But it's truly a thankless job being a father. You're a slave to the family in a good way. I mean, it's a good slave, like indentured servant, you might call it. So I think parents in general are unappreciated. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't think mothers own that.
B train.
I will say that I will agree with you on that. I will say the only reason why I think it's different is because men are more vocal about being appreciated than women. And but we are more appreciated by default. I see Noble about to be like, wait a minute, I already know.
Not
We
because
already, because we get
But
Mother's Day,
look,
and Mother's Day is like the second like greatest holiday in
I was just
America
about
for
to
some
say that.
Yeah.
I
reason.
was just about to say
So,
bro, listen,
re,
that.
re,
Like
listen.
Father's
real,
Day
real,
is like
real,
it's
real,
like
real quick,
Even
real
young
quick.
men.
When's Father's Day? Because I don't even know. When's Father's Day again?
It's like the second
Some
Sunday of
It's
June, something
June.
like
Yeah,
that.
you're
Is it
guessing,
June?
Yeah,
aren't you? Yeah, yeah. I think you're right, but yeah, nobody knows. Nobody cares.
But
it's
like,
like
let's be
second
real. Even
Christmas.
even
I
even.
care. It's June 18th.
Oh, okay.
You
I
you
always
Even
buy
young
you
my
men.
googled it.
look,
You looked it up.
Okay.
but look,
Even
I
young
always
men
buy my.
that grow up with both of their parents in the household, bruh.
Don't say nothing
Everybody
about
be
me.
like, bro, when I make it, bro, I'm gonna do this for my mama. I'm gonna buy my mama a house. I'm gonna do this for my mama. They don't
Say
even be
nothing about
mentioning their
that.
dad. They don't even be
Yeah,
mentioning
because
their
you
dad.
y'all know Bill Cosby got the greatest joke of that. Like he talked about when his son was alive. He was like, I trained him. I took him to a little football practice, and I was out there with him. And he said, and he went to his first big high school game, and this dude gonna get up in front of the camera talking about, "Hi, mom." He was like, "Wait a minute, your mama
But
ain't
I
good
think,
no
Yo,
more."
check.
like, wait a minute. I
Yo,
think
check.
that speaks to the character of the parent, though. Like, if you're a dad and you're supposedly active in your child's life and they're not celebrating you, like, I feel like that you gotta look in the mirror and be like, why maybe are they not celebrating me if you are active dad? Because I know a lot of girls that actually do have a dad and they celebrate their dad just like we celebrate our moms. Like, it's
Girls
nothing
have a
different.
different
Same
relationship
thing.
with their dads,
Yeah.
though.
right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
girls
think.
have a
I
different
mean,
I think
relationship
my
with
I
their
brothers,
think
dads.
I have brothers
to
and
be
my
fair.
brothers do the same
Ooh.
thing.
So I think, to be fair, and this might be a generational thing. I think part of the reason is I don't think fathers really, like, need that, or at least they don't say vocally that they need that. I don't think they do. I mean, we've always made jokes, but I want to say this. There was a, like, 2 or 3 months ago, there was a TikTok video that went, like, viral. some guy, it's probably his only file vertical, some old guy, I mean, older than me, and he was sitting in his car doing this video about how he had, he was at his son's football game, and his son, like, he had been training with his son all of his life, all this stuff, throwing the football and all of that. And then at the championship game, the father's sitting there and he's so proud of his son, and all his father said was, "I did this for mom."
Sounds about right.
But
No,
Mr.
but
He
B,
was crushed. He
boys
was actually
love their
crushed though. He
mom
was
B
though.
crushed.
Train, we literally, bro, it's like, especially the single mother homes, bro, when Father's Day come around, bro, they literally be like, this mother's celebrating Father's Day. They don't got this single Father's Day celebrating Mother's Day.
That's all you see on Facebook.
You
I'm
know, so
playing
as a mom,
to
I
celebrate
hate Mother's
Father's Day.
Day.
Like, huh?
Yeah, as a mom though, I hate Mother's Day because I don't like. Okay, so I have real bad social anxiety, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to be out in crowds. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I hate Mother's Day, because I don't want you to take me nowhere because everybody's outside. Like, I don't like. Let's celebrate mine on Tuesday after Mother's Day when everybody went back to work, because that's just too many social interactions for me. I'm gonna get paranoid and I'm gonna get overwhelmed. But I will say this: my dad always gets mad because whenever I buy him a Father's Day gift, he's like, "Where did you get this at?" And I was like, "Walmart." And he just be like, "I was like, yeah, I was in there getting some toilet paper for the house." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Father's Day is coming up. Let me grab him a bear or something."
Man,
He'd be
That's
like,
bro,
crazy.
people
"What?"
appreciate
I
their
mean,
mothers. I don't know what y'all talking
I
about. People
will
He
appreciate
grabbed
their
I
him a
mothers.
will
bear off
say
the clearance aisle.
that, like, when I celebrate Father's Day, even though I can see, like, okay, I can see both sides, because when I celebrate Father's Day and you go and you click on like people's stories and they just posting their mom, it is kind of annoying, because but I can see where they're coming from. But like, it's kind of annoying because it's like, dang, like, this is for the dads. Like, if you don't have a dad, you just be quiet, like, whatever. But I do see when people have moms that play that role and they want to give appreciation to them both. I really think it wouldn't make a big difference if we didn't have social media, because it just highlights it. Like, if people were to celebrate it in the quiet of their own home and like, oh, I'm gonna celebrate my mom today on Father's Day too, I don't think it would make that much of a difference. It's the fact that they like try to purposely make it super vocal in social media to say like F the dads, like F all these baby daddies. Like, that's
Yeah,
kind of
I
like
don't
the
like that though.
perspective that they like to put out there that makes Father's Day so dark.
So this year on
I mean,
Father's Day, my my
I have a problem with it because we already have a Mother's Day. We should celebrate single mothers on Mother's Day, and to do it on Father's Day is weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to me, and it's almost celebrating single motherhood, which is I mean, it's a condition that we have, but I don't know if it's something to be celebrated. It's just
Yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah,
I don't blame
I
you.
do the post every year, like the day before Father's Day. I be like, "Hey, y'all don't come out here with that little 'I'm the daddy' too." I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to see it. I'ma block you. Like, and I do. I block. If I see any of my female friends post this shit, I block you. And you blocked until next Father's Day when you get some sense, because I ain't trying to see that. That shit is stupid to me. You are not a man, ma'am. You are not. You had Mother's Day and you got your birthday. We got you covered. You don't need Father's Day too. We just stop it. I just don't like it. I don't think that's cool. I mean, I understand that if the dad's not there, like my kid's father, he was, we don't even know where he was on Father's Day. None of us do. They was with me. However, that ain't my business. I did my part. So what does it matter? Like, I ain't got to. I'm not their daddy,
So
and I
let's say, for
remind them all the
example,
time.
that somebody was a single dad, and then on Mother's Day, somebody wanted to appreciate their dad. Would you have like the same sentiment towards somebody wanting to celebrate their dad on Mother's Day?
That
I mean, but
If I was a
why
single
though?
dad, I
He's
would
a
not allow
father.
that.
yeah, that's something that
That's
don't happen.
crazy.
That's something that just don't happen. Like,
Yeah, but he has Father's Day. Why does he need Mother's Day? You a father. You're not a mama though. And then men's masculinity means a lot to them. They never want anything to tie them to being a woman. So why would they want to celebrate Mother's Day? They're gonna be like, no, ain't no man trying to celebrate Mother's Day. Well, I take that back. I saw some not straight men celebrating it this year, and that's their
Very true.
lane though. But
that
that's
ain't the
their lane
thing.
though. But a straight man ain't about to be like, it's Mother's
Everybody
Day
ain't.
and I got my son.
Right.
Be trained all
Hey,
on
did
TikTok
y'all
on
see
Mother's
the
Day talking.
Absolutely.
It's really just it's honestly just a